Hey everyone, got another 4 of these Gundam Converge figures, and I'll start today off with this guy here. Let me get these out of view. So this is RMS 106 HiZack, and Converge-wise, this is from Wave 20, and it's number 119. And this also had a secret chase version where it was blue, but I just got this green one because I bought it locally. So let me figure out what this robot's all about. Seems to be, it was introduced in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, that animation. It is a mass production general purpose mobile suit. And although it looks like a Zaku 2, it is much upgraded. So it has better armor and a bigger engine, so it's just a better grunt, I guess. Alright, so early in the series of these Converges, they have these silly foot stands, which I don't even bother keeping anymore, because they don't tell you what the robot is. If they told you what the robot is, I might keep them, but they don't do that, so it's kind of silly. Alright, let's hope there are no pieces missing from this guy, because I bought it loose. I've been burned before. This shield here, it says RMS 106 molded into it, so I think that's really cool. And then the peg is actually on the arm. I kind of think it should be the other way around, so you could display it without the shield and not have this peg just sticking out. But it's a hex hole back here, and there's some minor details, molded in there. The hand on this side doesn't move, it's just part of the arm, just painted separately. A different color that is. And then this peg here, it's just a raw plastic. It's quite interesting. It's not painted. And there's a hex hole here. Still pretty good friction. Doesn't move, it's not loose. Bottom of the feet have decent enough details. Some thrusters here with some red covering, a red shield, some more thrusters there. Nice yellow hoses all over the sky. It's really cool. On this side we have a shoulder armor on a peg, a hex hole. And then the hand is a separate piece, and that hand has the gun molded into it. You can rotate the hand to get different angles there, and then obviously move the gun up. And since this is separate, you can still keep the armor there, although it looks, well, still okay. Alright, does this head come off? I think it does. Let's see. Well, maybe, well, I don't know if the last guy glued it down. Doesn't seem like it wants to move. I don't know if this eye will move left or right. But it's just pink. It's not even metallic, which is unfortunate. It's just a pink circle painted on. The torso, no movement there. The legs don't move. And this backpack is probably a separate piece, but it's on there pretty tight. Some thruster details, and I'm not sure what these things would be on it. Antennae or maybe handles for swords? No, I think they must be like fins or something. Decent enough details back here. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, not bad. Nice color variations going on. One light green, yellow, dark green, gray, red, and pink. So yeah, a lot of things to look at. Okay, next up, and I've learned this through researching online, of course, that this is not wave 3. This is wave pound number 3, or number 03. So there was a wave 3, but it didn't have a 3 written on the box. You just didn't know. So it's kind of weird. Instead of going, I think after like wave 20, they started to do pound 1 again. So they reset. Instead of doing wave 21, 22, they just did wave 1 through 20, and then the next one after 20 was pound 01. So it's kind of silly. I assume they did that so they don't scare people from collecting. If someone just knew they had 50 waves of figures, people might not want to collect them because they're like, oh, they gotta pay a lot of money for a bunch of old figures that they want. But it's a little bit confusing that they would just reset and start over again. Anyways, this is number 137 in the overall lineup, so now you know. So this includes the first 20 waves, plus these pound 3 waves. So it's number 137. Alright, and this is called RX110 Gabthley. Gabthley. I don't know how else to pronounce that. It's from 2016, and it looks to be new. Here are the other figures in that lineup. This Gyaradoga I'm going to definitely have to get. It's cool looking. Glue's kind of worn out. I've never even bothered to look in here. There's like a QR code, something there. Nothing inside, but this old gum from, oh my god, from 2016. That's gross. Alright, some barcode there. So it says here on the internet, this was from anime series Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. So I believe that was the same as the HiZack. Maybe they do waves based on the TV series or the anime series. So now when you get to these pound waves, they have these nice square plastic bases. Unfortunately, they still don't write what the figure is, but it's fine. If it gives me a cheaper model, that's fine. So this thing has a flight mode, as you can see here, and then it transforms into a humanoid robot. Alright, let's take a look at this guy now. We'll start at the body. Start at the bottom. There's the peg hole, it's a hex, and the stand itself has a round peg, so that's good. It won't get stuck, but it should be still firm. There's a lot of brown, extra brown here, so I think the whole body was painted brown and they painted the other colors on top of it. Not enough here, but it just looks like it's weathered, so I'm fine with it. It looks good, actually, even better. This looks like a separate piece, but it's glued in place. It looks like there's a break here. The torso, there's no spin or anything like that. These legs are locked in place. The torso's locked in place, but the arms should move. I don't know. I don't know. That thing's really tight. I think almost all the arms on every Converge I have will move, but I think the paint is... I'll have to wiggle around with that later. So this hand is just... usually it's not a separate piece, but it looks like there's a break again, so I do feel like that hand might be a separate piece. But again, it's really stuck. Well, I think it's working loose. There we go. Alright. So yeah, there's a hex there. So even with the hex in a circle, it got stuck over time. So that does make me think again. If I wiggle it, maybe break the paint bond. Yeah, you can see a little gap in there, so... Yeah, there we go. So a hex hole and a round peg. So it works. You know, if this was a round hole and a round peg, then I think the paint bond might be so strong that you'd tear off the peg itself. So I like the idea of this. Onto this arm, there's actually some thrusters and 2 bars. Maybe these are sword handles. Alright, some yellow there. That's a nice paint tab. Okay, there's a hole here. I don't know. Maybe something goes there later. So now, I kind of want to do the same here because I want to pose the guy a little differently. Alright, so yeah, you just gotta wiggle it around and eventually it'll break free. Nice yellow paint details down there. Some louvers or something there. Alright, some yellow around the neck, some purple up in the collar area, some hose details. Nice metallic pink dot circles there. So very cool. A lot of nice details molded in this guy and enough color variation that's not boring. Let's look at the head. So it's an interesting design. There's a pink mono eye there, and then it's molded so it looks like it would spin, but I don't know if it will. I don't think that... that might be glued down, I'm not sure. And then there's some yellow up here. This feels rigid. I don't think this is PVC, this antenna thing. I think that might be ABS plastic. You don't want to bend that too much, it might break. So this head is not meant to spin because it has an L-shaped peg. But does that make sense? I don't know. It wouldn't. I don't think it would collide with much. I think they could have gone with a round peg so you can get a few degrees of movement out of the head. Strange choice. Alright, maybe it has to do with this backpack. So this backpack also has some of that metallic pink on it as well. This looks like a weird beetle shell or something. Alright, so looking at this, I guess it's supposed to go this way. Even so, I do think the head could have spun a little bit, a few degrees. You'll notice these are not equal. So you can take some hot water and dip in hot water, and that'll bend back straight after it cools. You just hold it in place, let it cool down. So it's no big deal. Yeah, really reminds me of like a beetle, a fighting beetle or something. So then the hand here is molded into the rifle, and so you're not going to get any shooting poses. It's a really long peg. It's interesting. Really tight fit. So pretty much that's the only way you're going to pose him with this thing on the ground, I think. I guess you could pose him like that, like he's going to hammer someone's head with it. Or not he, I don't know who's piloting this thing. What I don't really understand is why are there holes here? I feel like there should be something pegging into them, but there isn't. I don't know if they're future-proofing. See, there's turrets though. Wait a sec. I mean, that was a brand new box I opened. I feel like they forgot to give you those pieces. Hold on. Oh, boy, I'm glad I went back and looked at this. Okay, so there's a little tiny baggie of those antennae there. I'm gonna have to super glue these on because they're so small. They're gonna fall off and get lost. I'll do that later though. Alright. So they're just round. I will say that's a really tight fit. I don't think they're going to fall out very easily, but I think if you handle, I mean, it'll hold the weight of the figure. Yeah, maybe I won't bother. Yeah, if it can do, well, let's see. No, I will glue those at a later date. Okay, so it does match that image. Really fragile though. I have a feeling that would really break easily if it fell off a bookshelf. Alright, well, that's an interesting one for sure. Definitely totally different design language than that HiZack. Alright, next in line we have this RMS 179 GM2 Semi-Striker. And that's what it says on the box there. It's number 149 in the overall Converge collection, but it's from Wave Pound 05. Okay, this one looks to be new. And their mother, yeah, that GM2 is very similar. That's a big one. Interesting. Interesting. The glue is really weak, being so old. This is from 2017. Actually, that's not that old. But I'm still not going to eat this gum. That's 5-year-old gum. I think if it's 2 years old, I'd be willing to eat it because it's pretty much sugar. But at 5 years old, I'm not sure what kind of weird chemical changes are occurring inside that gum. Alright, so now I'm noticing on this one there's tiny bags again. Tiny pieces in this. So it's got the nice stand. And actually, I didn't put the last one on the stand, so I'll try to do that on this one. I have to get all these pieces out first. So reading this fandom webpage, this is based off the RMS 179 GM2, but it's reprogrammed for close quarters combat. So it has like a battle lance, which is this thing, a double bladed energy lance. And that's what I assume is this part. The handle, it's got an L shape, so it has to go in a specific direction, and that is going into the hand itself. That's a good design. It looks good. You could paint them different colors if you wanted to very easily because of that. I can't focus on it. These are part of this. I think this whole thing is molded in this pink, and then they just painted the rest of it this gray. Okay, decent enough details, nothing to complain about. So the stand, yeah, there's a hex hole in the bottom of the foot, and it's a tight fit. Yeah, there's no way that's falling off. I guess if you do that a bunch of times, though, it might get looser. But this one's really tight. But these guys will... I've never had a Gundam Converge that can't stand on its own. So less space without these stands. Okay, let's take a look now at the closer details here. The first highlight is this visor. It's transparent green. This silver molded details back behind it, and they match that metallic up here with this paint. And on the back, no, they skipped it. I don't know if there should be that same color back there or not. The arms, yeah, they do pivot on those pegs with the hex holes. This side's got a tiny little shield, and the hand here is molded. Oh, it's a separate piece. That's nice. Yeah, so they seem to be getting more details, I think, with the newer waves, which is nice. This one's idiot proof because it's a small peg versus the big peg, so left and right hands really can't get confused. And then nice molded details on that foot. Moving up, it's an off-white, it's not a stark white. It's kind of like a dark, or really light gray, I suppose, a light gray. It's all matte finished. I don't think I have a glossy Gundam Converge yet. I know they exist. Nice metallic gunmetal paint here in the joints. Some thrusters. This backpack is like a dark gray. The torso, no movement at all. Yeah, alright, the head, yeah, that will spin. Hex hole. Okay, so nice details up here. And then you got the red and yellow there. Good contrast. So there's an antenna here that slides into the back of the head. Right there. It's a tight fit. But I'm going to still put some crazy glue in that later. I can't get that in there. Let me just take it off the body. It's improbable that would fall out, but I don't know. I don't want to risk it. I'm going to probably glue it in place after I detail this thing. Now, where does this go? Maybe on the backpack? That's interesting. There's an L shape on this one as well. So there's got to be an L-shaped peg somewhere on this thing. Yet I don't see it. I was thinking maybe it goes there. Well, that's weird. Let me look at the box art. I see, it goes on the backpack. That's the L-shaped peg. It's just hard to see because the thing is matte black. This one will probably definitely fall off pretty easily. Right? So I definitely recommend gluing that after you do any sort of paint apps or modifying. Alright, so I'm gonna guess that's like a handle for a beam saber. It's just stuck in there. Let's get this hand on. And yeah, you can rest that on the ground if you want, or go for a chopping effect. Although the way the arm is situated, it kind of wants to hit its head. So I think it's probably best to just pose it like that. And also, like, the head is pointing downwards. It's not looking straight out. It's kind of weird. It would have been cool if they designed these with a ball peg, like action figures, and then have a ball recess, so then you could actually swivel it, you know, left and right, front and back. That wouldn't take any more material. I don't think it'd be more difficult to have a ball peg on these things. Yeah, that's too bad. But the visor is really cool. Alright, let's move on to the last one. Alright, the last one today is Gundam, well, it's number 156 in the overall series, and it's from collection Pound 07. And it says Z Gundam on it, but the frame is MSZ-006, so this is known as the Zeta Gundam. And according to the website here, this has been featured in 2 animations, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, and then Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. So, it's a popular Gundam apparently. This one can transform into a flying airplane. So this Gundam apparently was designed for atmospheric and space use. And this is from 2017, so I'm not going to touch that gum. Yeah, it's kind of brown already. A whole bunch of parts here. There's a stand. pieces. Alright, we don't care about the stand. I'll start here. I don't know why sometimes, like, well, yeah, they just put the arm on it, but if it falls off, it would collide and scratching the paint. Alright, hex holes here, and pegs. I think the whole thing was painted blue beforehand, or why would they paint that blue? Interesting that they would go through that effort. I think that thing's painted white, actually. It doesn't make sense to put white over blue. It's very easy to put blue over white, but not the other way around. Bottom of the feet, mediocre details. The legs here, better details. You know, got the thrusters there. Thrusters to the back, but no paint, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, nice panel gaps and stuff. Oh, what's going on there? Some dirtiness there, but it's fine. The torso doesn't move at all. The legs don't move at all. Nice red and yellow and blue up here. And then it's a really arched back figure, very stylized. So the head, we got maybe some cannons up in the head, but no paint. A little bit of metallic paint up in here. And the eyes, I think they're translucent, actually. They might be, yeah, see a little green, but it's dark. So the silver molded details behind there. So that's really cool. Even though they're small eyes, they have some depth to them. Alright, so yeah, the head can obviously spin a little bit. Well, not really spin all the way, but it can rotate a little bit. Backpack, we got some metallic paint here. And let's start putting this thing together. So this hand here is a separate piece, I believe. Or is it? I don't know. It's really tight. That one, I don't know. But I see like a break, so I think it is a separate piece. You just gotta wiggle it. And it's got a hole for the gun. I'm gonna just leave it alone for now. Oh, is that a stain? Yeah, I think there's not enough blue paint there. It got scratched. So I do think they should... Oh, and look, there's blue here. So they should separate all the parts, I think. Because that's what happens when they start bouncing around during shipping against each other. So the arm itself has a lot of color too, right? This hand again, I don't know, it's gotta be... I'm not sure. It's really stuck. I'm sure this one spins. Every one I've had that does spin, but... Alright, so this crest here on the head, I'm going to have to glue that in place at a later date. It's a really tight fit, but... Well, you know what, maybe I don't need to glue that. You heard the friction on that one. So, let me try to figure this out. I think this is the arm shield, a little detail back there. Okay. I think this is like a central fin, and it's got the same corresponding shape, which I think it's supposed to go like this then. It has a really long fin. And then these must be wings that go on here. And I think the red goes on the bottom. Or actually, look at that image. Yeah, maybe it's supposed to go like this. Well, they're round holes and round pegs, so you can flip them left and right if you wanted to. And that arm fell off. That arm seems to be loose now. And then, yeah, the rifle here is like a matte finish. Let's see, look at it. There's a bunch of extra paint going on. And it fits snugly in the hand. So, I actually didn't want this at first, but I rather like it now. It's got a lot of cool colors, and they're pretty well applied. It's just unfortunate that the thing scratched itself up, you know? I'll have to take some water and a Q-tip and see if I could wipe that blue off later. Alright, well that's it. Let me reset. So I always want to ask at the end of these videos, which do you like the most? But then I ask myself, and I have a really hard time answering that question because they're all so different, you know, and I like them. I can't tell you which of these four I like the most because they're just so unique in their styling, and I don't know. Well, if you can answer that, please leave a comment. But I like them all. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next wave of Converge figures whenever I get that in. Bye now.